Okay. All right. So we're recording now. Okay. So tonight was super short because we were going to go over how to have a successful follow-up, right? We're still going to do that. Not like we were going to do it, but we're going over how to have a successful follow-up appointment. And so I had just a few tips, but I wanted to do half of it today and half of it next week because I feel like it's too much information if I just threw all of it at you. So if I just do half of it, and this will seriously only take, it's like 8 minutes long is this little part, but I'd rather only give you 8 minutes and have you like not want to quit doTERRA by the end of the night. Anyway, okay. So, and please like either chime in or write something in the chat, or tell us after, like anything else that you do that you find successful, or any other tips that you have or things that you do. So, so as far as a follow-up appointment, a follow-up appointment is after they've received their product. So when you have a class or a one-on-one with somebody and they purchase or enroll with the kit, you're going to set up a follow-up appointment with them right then and there. So or you can call them later and set it up, but it's better if you do it then. And have it be like a week, a couple of days, whatever it is, 2 weeks out, sometime, relatively soon. So you're not leaving them for like 3 or 4 months before you follow up with them again. But yeah, just so that you can, go over a few things, and we're going to go over all those. So anyway, okay. So when you meet up with them for the follow-up appointment, want to give them an agenda. And giving anybody an agenda is so important when you're meeting with them, because then they know what to expect and they have an idea of how long it will take. So, for instance, I give the analogy or the example of, like, imagine you're going to like a graduation ceremony or something, right? Like those are always so long and so boring. And how much, like, the whole time, aren't you looking at your program the whole time to see, like, when is it almost over and how much longer do I have to sit in here, right? So the agenda helps you get through it. And not that our one-on-ones are boring or horrible. That was a bad example. But just it gives them an idea of how long it's going to be and what to expect. It lets them put the guard down and helps them relax a little bit. Because don't you guys feel better when you have an agenda or when you have a program to follow? With whatever it is, whether it's at church or any program, like your kids' concert chorus, a chorus concert or whatever. Yep. Yeah, it's good, right? So, okay, so you're going to give them an agenda. So agenda, basically you're going to go over 4 things. So you're going to revisit their goals, their health concerns is number 1. Number 2 is you're going to create a wish list with them. And I will type this all up and put it in the file section probably after we finish next week, once we have it all there. So we'll have all of it there. So number 2 is to create the wish list with them. Number 3, you're going to set up their next shipment. So this is your agenda that you're following, your outline, and then we're going to get to the agenda. Okay? So the health goals, create the wish list, set up their next shipment or their LRP, auto ship, whatever, and then explain the business part. So how to talk about each one of those. So when you ask them what their health concerns or health goals are, you want to ask them, okay, so let's like revisit that. Remind me, like help me remember, what are your health concerns? Because, I've got a lot of customers and I want to make sure I have it right. You don't want to assume that you know what their health goals are. Even if you remember what they are, you don't want to rattle off and tell them what their health goals are, right? Because maybe they've changed in the last couple of weeks, or maybe they have something different that they want to add in there. It gives them an opportunity to talk and participate so that you're not just talking at them the whole appointment.
Also, it brings it to the forefront what their issues were.
Yes.
And think about it.
And it creates buy-in, right? Like it creates buy-in for them too. Like they're not going to buy into what their health concerns are if you're telling them, but if they're telling you, then of course it's legit because they're saying it, right? So yeah, so that's good. So thanks, Marilyn. Okay, so All right. So when you're saying we're going to create a wish list and then you're going to tell them, you're not going to tell them, okay, we're not going to set up your next shipment, right? That sounds kind of businessy, but you could show that I'm going to show you the best way to order, right? Because that sounds really nice. I'm going to show you the best way to order. And then another way that you could rephrase it is, I'm going to show you how to order and save the most amount of money, because a lot of people make mistakes here, and I don't want that to happen to you. Doesn't that make you feel so taken care of if I say that, right? A lot of people make mistakes here, and I don't want that to happen to you. I want to make sure that you're saving the most money. That's so comforting. I love that. Or you could also say like, and I don't want you to miss out on anything, right? Because what if they were ordering at like 123 PV and they almost missed out on Project of the Month, right? So something like that. You don't want them to miss out on anything. So that's another really good phrase. Okay, and then let them know when you're giving them the agenda of what you're going to go over, and then tell them, and then we're going to go over the business, because most people want to know that, even if it's just out of curiosity. Isn't that so light, like comforting and like easy, right? So easy. I love that phrase, because then you're putting it out there with nothing attached to it at all, right? It's just because they're curious that they want to know, and that's what most people want to know, so that's okay. So it kind of makes them feel safe. Okay, so then so that's your agenda part that you're gonna go over. So you're gonna get back into the health goals. So remind me again, what are your health goals? And then when they tell you your health goals, and then say, okay, now is there anything else that you want? Like, do you want a shampoo that has less chemicals in it, or are you interested in, or not interested? Oh my gosh, you guys, listen to me say that word. I need to like pay everybody like $1 every time I say it. So, how about, is safe toothpaste important to you in case your kids get a hold of it? Or natural cleaning products that are safe to have in your home for your animals and your pets. So yeah, Kaylee's telling Tasha, then I keep saying interested. I seriously need to come up with like a money jar that I have to say every time I say interested. So yeah, just a few other ideas. What's another idea of product that might be somebody's want and not necessarily a need, like that meets a health concern? Can you think of anything? So we've got like the natural cleaning for the On Guard, or what was the other one I said? Oh, the toothpaste. That's important, because if kids get a hold of toothpaste, like you got to seriously get on the phone with poison control, but doTERRA toothpaste, it doesn't matter. Does anybody have any other ideas? Oh, phytoestrogen. Yeah. So like hormone support. Ooh, weight loss. Yep. Lorraine's got Slim and Sassy Gum. Yeah. So weight management. Yep. So the Women Behave pill. Yep. So yeah, or emotional support. A lot of people these days are stressed out and either angry or sad or depressed or anxious or having a hard time forgetting about stuff, like the thoughts that just keep going on and on in your head. So is there anything that you could use for emotional support? So yeah, so those are great ideas. And so that's their want list, right? So you have their needs and their wants on the wish list. Okay, so when you're creating the wish list and the want list, you want to have either like probably a catalog, or like the product guide, or the wellness console, if you wanted to do that on the wellness console. I like the product guide because it's pretty. It's got all those pictures, prices are there, it talks a little bit each one. But for some people that might be overwhelming because it's too much, like it's a book, right? But just to go, whatever it is, whether you're doing a book or the wellness consult or something, try to have something that you're going through with them, and you're not trying to do it from memory. Because if you're going to do it from memory, there's a few problems there. One is you might forget something, but number two is it's not making you very duplicatable, right? Like if somebody's interested in the business at all, they're going to be like, I can't memorize that whole catalog. I don't know all the products. I would never be able to do that. And right then and there, they're already like, I'm not doing the business because you have the products memorized, right? So So either way, so either a catalog, which would be easy because that's something they got in their enrollment kit, or a modern essentials book or essential life book. And that would be nice too, because then you can go through that, but also either come up with a way for them to earn it, or they could buy it, right? So you're creating value with that book. So, okay, so let's see. Oh, and one other thing is when you're going through like the book or the products or whatever, this is a good time for you also to be able to point out like what the oils that they purchased or products that they purchased, what else they're good for. So for instance, maybe you only talked about using lavender to help with sleep and relaxation in your class. But then when you do your follow-up appointment with them, you can say, oh, and I know you have that lavender and you only, I know that it's good for sleeping, helping you fall asleep at night. But hey, just so you also know, it's also good for like ear discomfort or bug bites or bee stings or rashes. You could show them how to look that up in the book, or if you're doing the catalog, then just give them a few little tidbits they could write in there or something.
Or burn.
Oh, go ahead.
Burns.
Burns. Yeah. Oh gosh, that's a good one. Yes, everything Lauren says.
Great to keep it in the kitchen.
Yep. I keep Maluka in the kitchen for that reason. So yeah. So great. So that's awesome. So then when you're doing this wish list and want list, write it down. So have you write it down and have them write it down. So one, so that you can have a copy for them, but also if they're writing it down, they're creating that muscle memory that they're going to remember what they had on their wish list or want list, right? So even if they lose the piece of paper, they're probably going to end up remembering a lot of it because they wrote it down. If you're doing it on Zoom or something, you could do it on the whiteboard, because then that creates like do a screen share and do it on the whiteboard, because then that creates a visual. Then they're looking at it, right? Doing it that way. What was the other thing? I totally lost my thought. Okay. So that was it. So that's all I wanted to cover tonight, because I felt like that was a lot. So going over like the agenda, their health concerns, and the wish list, and how to create the wish list want list. And then next time we'll go over helping them set up like the next shipment or their order, if you will, and then talking about the business, how to talk about the business part. And this is a great part for the business, because this is another way, right, of how to ask for referrals. So even if they don't want to do the business, most people are willing to at least give you names of people to contact. So that's a great way to continue to get new members on your team, new blood. So anyway, so is that good? I know it's not long. I wanted to keep it short and sweet because I didn't want to fire hose too much information at you guys. And then I got to leave you wanting for more, right? So now you have to come back next week so that you can hear about part 2. So let me end the recording, and then you guys
Good job.
ask. A website hit the wrong button. Just a minute. Oh goodness, technology sometimes.